Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, here in my favorite place, trying to make a video after I spent a night in a beautiful tent. The weather is good, a little bit cold, but I like it that way. Not raining, it's cloudy. There's no rain in the forecast, so I thought I should make a video or two, or more than two. So after while I'm making this video, I will show you the surrounding area so you see where I'm at. Beautiful, away from garbage. And what is the subject of this video? Russia finally proclaims that NATO and the European Union are at war with Russia. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised at all. What's up, little thing? I have a little bee around. So, are you surprised? I've been saying that for at least 3 years and a half, that the West wages war against Russia. Now, Russia comes and says it's no more indirect war. It is a direct war. And I think the West, as did so far, they try to portray the issue as we are the victims, we are attacked, we have to respond to the Russian aggression. This is the narrative. And we will respond because we have to protect you. All right, well, could be, but hey, let's read these articles that I have them ready here for you. And I have my CC iPad. I don't have much signal here. I mean, I have signal, but not as much as to like upload videos. But I will make 2 or 3 videos, upload them, and then publish them. So I have a few articles here. And the first one is with Lavrov coming and saying the obvious. NATO and the European Union waging war on Russia. This is right there, just for you. So they are at war. This is from yesterday, the 25th. This is one article. The other topic that I'm going to discuss today is the West is trying to portray Russia as the aggressor and the entity that provokes, provocateur. But we have the instigators, the Baltic states, Finland nowadays, Poland as always, Czech Republic, and now we have Denmark. And these guys are trying to probably create a false flag situation when the Russians violate their airspace, and they will shoot down one of the Russians' airplanes, as Turkey did in 2016, I think it was, with the ISIS, if you remember. Or not 2016, what was it? 18 maybe? I can't remember. Remember when the Russians were fighting ISIS for us because they created, Mujahideens, and Mujahideens turned into Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda morphed into ISIS and all that. And we, somehow these guys had weapons. How in the hell they had not Russian weapons? All right, so, and they were funded by whom? By sheiks and kings and queens or something? I'm not going to go further than that. So these guys try to create a false flag so they can shoot down, and they will shoot down. I guarantee you 99% that the West, NATO countries, will shoot down the drones, a Russian plane, and then they will say, now what? You violated, we are the victims. So US fighter jets scrambled to intercept Russian warplanes, plural, near Alaska. If it's near Alaska, what do you want to say? What's the problem? Well, the problem is these guys who make the news from us is the military who provide them with information. So if tomorrow a general comes and says, allow me to report, the Russian jet crossed into our airspace and we defended you, and we shut it down. We were the victims, we were the guys who were reacting to the Russian aggression. How do you know that's true? The Russians, on the other hand, will say, no, that's not true. You're not going to find out. We are not going to find out. The military says so, and that's it. They will show you, if you want, all the Russian trajectory around Washington, D.C. like this, doing circles, if they want. They can produce that evidence if they want. And they're going to show you, see, right here's the map, right here's the trajectory, here is the program. That's why I believe the electronic voting machines so much. Program, you can do whatever you want to do in it. So again, these guys try to provoke, or maybe the Russians try to provoke. That could be. Then we have here, is NATO trying to false flag Trump into Ukraine? Yeah, I think so. Some of them are. Germany accuses Russia of shadowing satellites. What's new? What do you expect that you can punch, you can promote, you can sanction, you can provide the other side with logistics, with military, with money, with loans, with everything you got but military on the ground, and you expect me not to consider you part of the conflict? Yes, Germany is part of the conflict and expect things to happen. I mean, unless these guys think that I can only jab, but you cannot do anything to me. Oh, well, I gotta take care of that little thing. Should I show you my butt? What do you think? Why not? I have nothing loose, do I? Let me get my CC things here. So you see, I have legs too, right? We're gonna get this one. Go around. All right. There you go. All right, you gotta be relaxed. You don't need all kind of special shoes. Let's make this like this. And I'm gonna show you the surrounding and my friends that I have here with me. And I will show my butt as well. And one of my friends, as always, is coffee. The other friend of mine is Colt. All right. Always ready. Obviously with, you can see the bullets right there because they are red, if you know what I mean. I don't like being red because if you are in a scuffle, they know how many bullets, how many more bullets you have. But if you have them lead, or lead color, like the shiny thing, like the silver, they can't really see it. But with the red, oh, the baboon has only one more bullet. I don't like it. But hey, these are very good bullets that do the job. Magnum 357, and I will show you more. I have the Red Baron right here, like a dog, loyal to me, that you stay and you pet, is right here on the ground. I will show you, not on the ground, is sitting on something because we have to take care of our friends, don't we? And loyal partners in crime? Nah. All right, so what do we have here? The Germans. Then we have Ukrinform, a Russian Navy ship near Denmark during drone raids. So these guys say that it was a Russian destroyer, whatever it was, ship, military ship, right there for you. While the drones were violating Denmark's airspace. First, if I am a country, an independent country, and that means I don't have to answer anybody's orders or follow anybody's orders, and an airplane gets in, I give him one or two warnings, very close to one another, not after an hour. Warning, you entered, which is common practice, they do it. And then I would scramble my jet and see what's going on. And if the guy doesn't want to get out, I'm going to fuck him up, boom, boom, with cameras and everything I need to do. That's how I would do. I defend you, really. But not like this. They're going to send something and then they're going to tell you this what happens. Anyway, so if that's the case, how about Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2? You see, the Danes are very fast to tell us that the Russian Navy ship was in the area. What about when it was Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines, terrorist attacks on the pipeline, Russian pipeline, and German pipeline? Where were they? The answer is not the one that they like. Poland urges its citizens to leave Belarus immediately and warns against all travel to the neighboring country. Why do you think is that? So Poland opens the border with Belarus, urges its citizens to leave immediately. Why do you think? Well, they are ready. They are. Well, you can look at very sneaky from both sides. One, the Russians are provoking, and you can look from the other side. No, the other guys are trying to provoke or create a situation in which they're going to create a false flag operation, and they will say, this is what happens. We have to protect you. All right? So let's start with the first article, the Russians and Lavrovsky. Let's make him Polish. Mr. Lavrovsky or Lavrovchuk, let's making Ukrainian, or maybe we making Romanian, Southern Romanian, Lavrovescu. All right, here it is. The first article. They put my goggles. Oh, it's you. Hey, how are you guys? The Ukrainian crisis was provoked by the West, which is now, quote unquote, directly participating in it, Sergei Lavrov has said. Well, this is his assessment. This is his opinion. He is the foreign minister. He's loyal to his country. He's a governmental employee. So you can say he's got an interest. Okay. Do you think that that's true? And if you think, how much do you think is true? Because, you can say, well, it is, but it's not the whole story. So how much do you think is the story? I think NATO has been involved in the war against Russia since day one of this garbage in Ukraine, and then is now directly participating. I think it has been directly participating since the beginning, maybe not the beginning. No, I think from the beginning. I think they already had the plans done and ahead of time. It's not like they reacted what the Russians will do. The Ukrainian crisis was orchestrated by the West as a war on Russia, waged by Kiev. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said, "Thank you, after fucking 3 years and a half, you come and tell us the obvious." Okay, Captain Obvious, right? The top diplomat made the remarks on Thursday during a G20 ministerial meeting held on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. The refusal to follow the UN Charter, which is a manifestation of, and I'm quoting, neo-colonial ambitions, prompts regional wars and raises global tension, Lavrov stated, invoking decades-long unresolved conflicts in Africa and elsewhere. Another clear example, and I'm quoting, is the Western-provoked crisis in Ukraine, through which NATO and the European Union wants to have already declared an actual war on my country and are directly participating in it, the top diplomat said. So, what do you want? What do you think? And they said here, the point the military is blocked growing cooperation with Ukraine, which accelerated after 2014 Maidan coup in Kiev and the ensuing conflict in Ukraine, Donbass is the main cause. The main cause is NATO. US is NATO. Yes, I think they've been, and even if, listen to me, even if these guys are going to sign a peace treaty today or tomorrow, this is just an armistice, it's just a temporary pause. Russia must be contained. Or as Cato, was it? Is it Cato? The senator, the Roman senator, the elder, Cato the elder, I think it was, who always said, Carthage must be destroyed. He was ending all his speeches in the Roman Senate about Carthage. I thought they fought 2 wars, but I was informed 3. Anyway, between the Romans and the Carthaginians and the Phoenicians, Carthaginians, Phoenicians, with a capital in Carthage, North Africa by Tripoli, Libya. So, hey, baby, don't sleep. I'm talking. And Cato the Elder always ended his speeches with, Carthage must be destroyed. This is the West. Russia must be the same thing. So this is going to be only a temporary stop. All right, let's go to the next one. How these guys are going to create the illusion, or maybe the reality, of a Russian provocation? Russia, let's start with this one, cannot win a conventional war against NATO. I'm sorry, they cannot. They don't have the economic potential. They don't have the manpower potential. They might have the balls, I give them that. But remember, the guys in Europe still have some countries that did not forget their balls from prior. They were not fully pussified yet. So, they're trying to create, maybe it's the Russians, so why would they create this problem? We can discuss that. What about the other ones? The other ones, I think they want only a pretext, trying to fight a conventional war with the Russians. Conventional, that's the war. Because if they go nuclear, they know there's no winner. Okay? I mean, there's only one winner. So US fighter jets scrambled to intercept Russian warplanes near Alaska. And if they're near Alaska, why do you scramble them? Again, to create the narrative for these imbeciles and everybody everywhere else that this is the danger. Danger. All right, but the stranger is the Russian. U.S. fighter jets were scrambled Wednesday to identify and intercept four. Why do I show you four like this and not like this? I will explain. 4 warplanes flying near Alaska, the North American Airspace Defense Command said. All right, so says 2 Russian Tu-95, those are the bombers, nuclear-capable bombers, long-range strategic bombers, and 2 Sukhoi 35s, advanced fighter jets were flying in the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, which is international airspace that abuts U.S. and Canadian sovereign airspace. So it's not violation. These guys responded by sending N-1 E-3 early warning and control aircraft, along with 4 F-16s and 4 KC-135 tanker planes to positively identify and intercept the Russian aircraft in the Alaskan ADIZ. So, it says, NORAD said Russian military activity in the ADIZ is common and not considered a threat, but it was the latest in the series of flights by Russian aircraft seen by many as testing the preparedness of the US and allied NATO countries. They drag you in right now. It came as officials in Denmark continued the investigation, still unattribute large drones that flew close to Copenhagen airport on Tuesday and Wednesday, disrupting traffic. Danish police have said the drones were operated by a capable actor. I thought they said it was a training plane. Oh, now there's the capable actor? How about the capable actors in the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines? Hey, Danes, what the fuck up? Wake up, man. Nah. European nations have been on alert amid Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. Russian drones were shot down by Polish and allied NATO warplanes after crossing Polish airspace on September 9. 10 days later, Estonia said several Russian fighter jets, 3 MiG-31s, entered its airspace, and so on. So they are getting you ready, I have a little party, I have a little picture here, but this is not this is the Tu-95 with the Sukhois. Beautiful planes. All right. So they're preparing you. Remember my mountain slope model, which is popping the cherry. Boom, boom, boom. You go slowly, and at the end, boom, that's it. The things were already decided before. All right. Now they just get moving ahead. Could have been clearly the Russians were over there, right? Nothing illegal so far, but that's not the goal. The goal is to Russia today. Is NATO trying to false flag Trump into Ukraine? Yes, I think not NATO, certain factions into NATO. That's what it is. The sudden chorus of European crying about Russia's supposed airspace violations comes at a convenient time, 100%. And that's it's a woman by Rachel Marsden, a columnist, political strategist, and host of an, I think, produced talk show in French and English. There she is. All right. Just in case. I think she's right. She's right. And then we have the Germans. But before we go to Germans, let me show you the surroundings a little bit. So, east, west, north, south. These guys are trying to disrupt me. Let me put that back together again. Let me get my CC things here. Come on, baby doll. Don't go like that. And you need to do something else here. Seems like you have been sleeping. No? There you go. I have my stack of wood on the other side there. So, okay, let's start with the fire in the sky. Then obviously we have the covered wood over there. Then we have the tent over here. It's a hot tent with it's covered right now, but it has a exhaust, how do you call it, skåk and pixelmel, where the water, the air comes out. I have a wood stove, little wooden stove there. Then that is west, where there's a little path of a deer and so on. This is north right here. The river is over there, beautiful river with salmon right now. I'm gonna make some videos. I made already, but I will make some more. And in the morning, when I woke up this morning, in that tree was a big, big eagle. And I'm not lying to you. I will record the guy and I'm going to post it on Facebook on my thing. So right over there with birds, when I came out and I started moving my tail, just took off. So again, that's what it is. And this is my little location. All right, let's go back to what we do best. Where is the wine? Okay, let's make it so you can see the burning, smoky fire. All right, so Germany accuses Russia of shadowing satellites. What did you expect, Herrn Stalin? Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has alleged suspicious maneuvers echoing the French military. Here is the from Russia Today, right there. German defense minister has accused Russia of shadowing communications satellites used by his country's military while unveiling a 35 billion euro, $41 billion 5-year investment plan for Berlin space program. Okay, what's the big deal here? Speaking on Thursday, he said that Russia and China are able to wage war in space. And I'm quoting, they can jam, blind, manipulate, or kinetically disrupt satellites. So the Russians and the Chinese are not really cave people? They are telling me that these guys are really scientifically able to do these kind of things technologically? Oh, yeah, they stole it from us. Everything they have is stolen from us. But they were the first in space somehow. Anyway. Oh, I know. That was a reminiscence, not a reminiscence, consequence of the paperclip operation in Europe. You know what paperclip operation in Europe was? Was the Americans trying to get all the Germans scientists they could grab, and the Russians picked about 10% of them, 90 ran to the West and ended up in high positions in NATO, that's the military, and other scientific, how do you call it, places. I don't know if I can find a word. Are you going to take off? I don't think so. So that's a paperclip. So yeah, is the Russians did that because they grabbed about 10% of all the major German scientists when the other guys got 90% of them. Please, my friends, please. All right, so Pistorius claimed that armed forces have already been targeting, I thought I was stopped over there, targeting and by jamming attacks, and specifically accused Russian Luch Olymp satellites of shadowing 2 Intelsat satellites which are used by German military for communications. What do you expect? Yeah. Keep providing Ukraine with aid and you're going to get more, baboons. So, Moscow, original Luch series satellites has been up. That's gathering information. They're getting information. That's a spy war over there anyway. Russian Navy ship present near Denmark during drone raids. Right, I showed you this maybe earlier, right there from Ukrinform. And this guy, Erika, says, during incidents involving unidentified drones that disrupted airport operations in several Danish cities this week, a ship of the Russian Baltic Fleet, the Alexander Shabalin, was present near the country's territorial waters. Was there any American ship? And if yes, why don't you tell us about it? Was any British Royal Navy ship? Why don't you tell us about that? You think those guys are over there to protect you? So I would ask that question as well. So many ships are in your vicinity. Why don't you tell us about all of them? You know, it's politically incorrect because they're trying to do what? False flag Trump. And then we have Poland urges its citizens to leave Belarus immediately and warns against all travel to the neighboring country. Or Poland opens border. It closed its border. Open borders urges its citizens to leave immediately. Poland has reopened 2 border crossings with Belarus and it's urging its citizens to leave Belarusian territory without delay. Got it? Why? In the event of a sudden deterioration of the security situation, border closures or other unforeseen circumstances, evacuation may become significantly more difficult or even impossible. So these guys know something we don't know, obviously, and that is someone is going to create a problem, and it's the Russians who provoke, remember? They will create a little problem, and the problem is NATO is going to defend you and I. All right, my friends? If you fall for that, you're going to fall for everything. So wait for a war. Is that a eagle? Usually he flies very low here. I couldn't identify yet what kind of eagle he is. He's not a bald eagle, or if it's a bald, it's not a bald eagle because he got pointed fingers, pointed wings, and it has white, is dark in color, almost black, with some spots, and that's usually a juvenile bald eagle. But he has pointed wings, and the bald eagles don't have pointed wings. They're kind of like flat, like round at the end, and flat. This guy has like this, the wings. So I couldn't identify. I didn't even try yet, but it's a big bird, a big bird. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. So expect, my friends, expect the Russians to be called continuously the aggressors, how do you call it, the NATO to defend you from them, and so on. And they will definitely take care of you, okay? They will definitely take care of you. They will definitely protect you. I think they will shoot down a Russian airplane, and they will provide you with all the evidence that we were attacked. And what would the Russians do? I think the Russians will do the same thing to one of these guys' plane in the vicinity. The Americans will come and say we were attacked. The Russian says, no, we didn't do it. You violated our airspace. I guarantee you that's exactly how it's going to play. It's going to be shot down, wherever it's going to be shot down, and the Russians will do the same thing. And you know who's going to be crying like a bitch? The West, as they cried with the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's what happened. When Khrushchev told that imbecile, what's his name, JFK, move your freaking nuclear weapons out of the Jupiter, missiles with nuclear warheads from Turkey and Italy, move them out. You're too close, especially the ones in Turkey. This guy said, we're not going to do that. They just, brought theirs, not the missiles. They started doing their thing, the same thing the other ones already did. And they had the weapons over there. And the West is almost close to Third World War. Oh my God, the Russians, the Soviets, the blah, blah. No, it was you. Oh, it was you. And what happened? The Soviets said, take them out. They took them in 6 months, they agreed. 6 months. Okay, why do I show like this and not like this? So the same here. When the Russians will do the exact thing the NATO, the West does, the NATO will feel very insulted. Why? You can't do that to us. Only we can do that to you. So this and that. It's just a joke. When you say, okay, are you a person who's, you pay attention, you're keen, Yeah, I say yes. Okay. How many fingers you see here? I see 1. Okay. How many fingers you see here? Oh, 2. How many fingers you see here? And you're gonna see 4. And I will say, hey, you don't see this one? So the same, when I say 4, I don't say like this because it's 5. So I'm going like this, cover the other one. Just a little thing. All right, my friends. Ah, man. Beautiful day. I'm going to make a few more videos here and then upload them. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong. Stay smart. Look for the truth and be just.